I suggest we fast and pray.
The spirit, told me today that I will see a man in this house.
He said his wife is dead?
Yes, she was sick.
Hey, what sickness?
Aite, it is your mother that will get leukemia. It is your mother.
Showing every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. with repeats on Friday at 10 p.m., Saturday at 6 p.m. and Sunday at 12:30 p.m. The Hairdressers is sponsored by Ebony Condoms and Tasty Tom Tomato Paste.
Live from the studios of Citi TV at Tessana. Welcome to the Citi Newsroom. My name is Vivian Kailoko. Coming up in today's edition of the Citi Newsroom. Former students of Commonwealth and Mensa Saba halls call on authorities of the University of Ghana to back down on their decision to transfer all continuing students of the hall to new ones.
Vandals know how to fight and win. We don't fight and lose. So give us a maximum 1 month. You will see the fruit of our labor.
Service provision from the National Office of the Births and Deaths Registry halted following power outage issues, which has been running for close to a month.
You have a power issue, and first it was a precautionary measure we're taking in place, by cutting the power to prevent anything like untoward happening, and but now I think that's protracted quite a little bit.
Also coming up, industry players in the currency exchange rate space predict further depreciation of the cedi for the first quarter of 2023.
From now up to the next 3 months, because it will climb gradually. This is the way to go, but at a slow pace, but gradually to start climbing up to about 13 thereabout.
And later, reduction of the electronic transfer levy from 1.5 to 1% yet to take effect, despite the announcement of its implementation from the beginning of 2023, as stated by the finance minister.
I don't believe in Ghana now. Today they will reduce it, tomorrow they will increase it. So I don't believe it at all. So there should be an advert so that people will get to know that they've reduced it, then they will purchase more of the transaction.
To our very first story and take you to the University of Ghana. Remember, students over there over the period last year were protesting. Students of Commonwealth Hall as well as Mensa Saba Hall over some issues. Now that led to the university directing that continuing students of those particular halls should not be allowed to be residents moving forward. But the students are not happy over this. This morning on the university campus, there was some protest pushing old students of the school to threaten they may hit the court if the right thing is not done in their angle. We have more on this report filed by Hansen Ajiman.
is a rare moment here at the University of Ghana, having students from the Commonwealth Hall and Mensa Sabah Hall doing morale together, singing, dancing, drumming together, all to echo one point, that they are against the decision by the university management to kick them out of their halls and to reassign them to new halls. This decision by the university was taken as a result of a clash that ensued between the two halls, allegedly, leading to the stealing of the bag of Mensa Sabah, which was placed in front of Mensa Sabah Hall. They are doing this to express their displeasure against what the university management is doing. For some of them, this really is very harsh. And we have one of them here. And this actually is being organized by old students of the Commonwealth Hall and also old students of Mensa Sabah Hall. Senior, what has brought Old Vandals Association to come into this particular matter?
Old Vandals are here to show solidarity with the young ones who are bearing the brunt of the decision that the university has taken. I say they are bearing the brunt, but I mean the immediate brunt. But what's going on has wider implication for the whole of Ghana. The authorities have decided that, I think the boys are coming in tomorrow. From now, only first year students, level 1 students, will be allowed to reside in the traditional halls, the public halls. Levels 2, 3, and 4, they're posting them to other private hostels accommodations, which are 4 times more expensive than what they are paying at the moment. And even the 1,500 or so that they're paying now, I tell you, some of us have to step in.
But somebody will argue that in these private hostels, there are other students who are equally there. So this is something that has been running in the university.
Exactly. Those who are there, they knew from the start that they were going there. Either they had the means or they had the time to prepare to go there. But these are people who are here because mostly this is what they can afford.
These students have been having countless clashes. The university is taking steps to make sure that they avoid these clashes. Isn't something you should be embracing as Old Students Association?
Come on. I mean, let's say your kids are playing and one smacks the other one, even on the cheek. You don't go about, take a sledgehammer and hit them on the head because they've slapped somebody. The response should be measured and reasonable.
What should be a measured and reasonable response in this case?
I'm going to that now. The universities, they've woken up to the incidents. They're installing cameras everywhere. As far as I'm concerned, if they have enough cameras, then they should be able to monitor what's going on, and that should deter people from doing this.
I think this action is unnecessary.
This is very, very unnecessary, uncalled for. I mean, it's inhuman. That's what I will always say. It's inhuman.
Any matter that is on its way to court, I hardly want to come because of element of contempt. But I can assure you that reasonability will prevail. I mean, nobody gains when this whole name goes down the drain. I mean, you are the VC in charge of the university management. If the university name is in disrepute, who suffers?
Are you having new students? Your name is not going away.
Hold it. In the year 2010, similar thing happened. They even brought in people. You've forgotten.
Perhaps you're not looking at it from the other way.
No, wait. In the year 2010, they even brought in females. But we fought and won, and they reversed the decision.
I'm saying that you are always fighting, but perhaps you're not trying to look at the way the university is seeing things.
You know what I'm trying to do? You are trying to let me unleash our strategy, which I will not do.
I'm not trying
but
to.
What I can assure you is that Vandals know how to fight and win. We don't fight and lose. So give us a maximum 1 month. You will see the fruit of our labor.
I'm doing this with former students of Mensa Sabah Hall. So for you, what really is a problem with this decision by the university?
So first of all, I think that it's a knee-jerk reaction. I think it doesn't, really solve the perennial problem of accommodation issues, but it's always a reactionary one. And I believe that when there's a problem, we must find a solution to it, not a reaction to it. What the university management is doing is a reaction to the issues that are happening, using that to cover themselves, in quote unquote, their incompetence. Because, some 10 years ago, we were able to do negotiations, we were able to, house every student on campus. 10 years down the line, we are facing economic problems. Instead of university to solve it this time, they are reacting to it, and that's a problem. We need a solution, not a reaction.
But would this decision actually even change? Is there a likelihood? Is there a door for negotiations for it to be reversed at all? Let's hear from the university. Prof, did you anticipate this kind of reaction? Old students coming in for their younger ones?
Well, we're not surprised, but at the same time, let's put things in context. I saw the people who showed up. They were just a handful of people. That is completely not representative of old vandals in Ghana. I know many, many old vandals who have called and expressed support for what we've done because they want their hall to be restored to its, original prestigious level.
They say that your decision goes against the principles of natural justice, and that they say it's few students engage in a scuffle, even if they want to believe so. And then,
and cars are being burnt, massive destruction of university property. That's a scuffle. 3 times in 1 year.
But they're saying it's a few
people. They should tell us who the few are.
They say that's a duty of the university and a disciplinary board to find out.
That's what the duty of the university is, to keep peace, and we're keeping peace. We're doing our job.
So, but what do you say to the point that without listening to all these students and taking a wholesale decision that affects them, all the continuing students of Mensa Sabah Hall and Commonwealth?
No continuation has come to me to ask that they want to be listened to.
You have to create the platform when it comes to principles of natural justice.
Create what platform? For what?
Taking the argument they make is that if you are taking a disciplinary action.
It's not a disciplinary action. We haven't even disciplined them yet. This is just security arrangements we are making. Okay? We have moved them to other halls. We haven't sacked them. We haven't suspended them. We haven't done anything to them. I don't know what disciplinary action is.
So you think
the halls where they have moved to their students there, are those students being punished? So we have moved them to halls which are full of students. Are those students being punished?
So the argument they make that it's a punitive measure doesn't arise?
I'm asking you that those students who are in those halls, are they being punished? Is that the argument they are making? They're going to Elizabeth Say or Kwapon or G. Nelson. It's a punishment.
Maybe a punishment in the sense that they didn't plan for the high fees.
Oh, please. When they come to the university, there's a range of accommodation available. You get any of them. You'll be lucky to get any of them. The majority of students don't even get any of the accommodation. So if you have accommodation, please, let's not worry about, a change in fees.
The old students and the students are asking the university to rescind this decision. Is there an avenue for it to be rescinded at all, or they should take it as a lost cause?
They have not asked me to rescind anything. I haven't received any discussion about that. Going to have an illegal demonstration is not a way to ask for any reconsideration. So we are ignoring all that. That is, just...
You say that none of that counts?
Oh, no, it doesn't count. How can you have an illegal gathering and, for us is nothing. Nothing has happened.
What if they were to engage you officially?
Well, let them engage and let's see. So far, we haven't had any engagement. All we see is media, threats in the media and all kinds of funny things. But we are not, that doesn't count to us. We ignore.
Now, for weeks, persons who require the services of the Births and Deaths Registry have been turned away. This is because of issues to do with power challenges. Now, Kwekwe Drama Answer has been looking at that issue, and he brings us more. Kwekwe, what can you tell us?
This is the national office, which is located in the Greater Accra region. Well, unfortunately, we understand that their activities have been somehow hampered, and that is because of some power outages that have hit the facility. Well, we know that the Births and Deaths Registry is responsible to issue certificates to individuals that are born here in Ghana, and also for the people who also pass on. That is where they get their certificates. But as I have indicated already, we understand that there has been some sort of challenge following power outages, which has also impacted negatively with regard to the services that they provide. This is the only place that has been affected, but we understand that the district offices are operating fully as they expected to operate. So despite the challenge, we understand that the work is ongoing as is expected. The only challenge is that the issuance of the certificates have been a major trouble or challenge for the officers here. But as you can see just behind me, the officers are at post. I've visited the customer service area and also other segments of the company or the facility, and I see everyone at post. We understand that work is ongoing as is expected. So because this is the national office, not a lot of people make their way here. We understand that a lot of their clients visit the district offices and the regional offices, which also offer the same work as is done here. But then I've been interacting with some of these persons or clients who have come here who have been left unattended to.
Yeah, he needed a traveling passport. So when I went there with him, we were asked to come and change the birth cert. He has the old one, and they said they are no longer using that one, so we should come and change it. For the past 3 weeks, and I was asked to follow up this week. So when I came, I saw the lady. She said she wasn't the very person who received it, so I should go and then come later. I asked when I should follow up, and she didn't give me any specific date to come. So I'm going back, and then maybe Friday I'll come and check again to see. But my son will be leaving tomorrow.
That would mean that it's going to be an inconvenience for your son.
Actually, but what can I do? Well, if I go back to the passport office, is there that I will know what to do the next? Other than that, as of now, I can also ask him to wait while they are, opening tomorrow. So he has to leave for school, and then I will see later how I'll try to. If I can postpone it to the next holidays.
I came to collect my birth cert. I came to return birth cert for some time ago. So I came back for it.
And what is the challenge? Have you been able to get it?
Yeah, I got it, but there's a mistake. So I came here to rectify the mistake. And they say I should come next week because they are having a lot of problems.
Okay, so you were expecting to get it today, I'm sure.
No, I got your, but I came to rectify the mistake. And because of this problem, they say I should come next week.
But would you say it's a worry to you? Is it?
It's a worry because sometimes it takes time, That's what I can say. It's a worry for themselves and for the clients.
Are you sure of getting it? Because were they able to promise you or assure you?
They say I should come next for rectification. But I don't know if they can do it for me or not.
So I've been interacting with the public relations officer for the Births and Deaths Registry, and he has been explaining to us what the challenges and what the facility have put in place to alleviate or ameliorate the challenge.
As you remember, I spoke to my registrar earlier, and she mentioned that you have a power issue, and first it was a precautionary measure we're taking in place, by cutting the power to prevent anything like untoward happening, and but now I think that's protracted quite a little bit, and they are working. They are hands-on, trying to make sure that the thing is solved by the end of the week. Yeah.
Now, in the interim, can people also go on other portals to do their services? Is there any other arrangement?
Yes. I think this is a great opportunity for us to let the public know that we have our services migrated online, and you don't need to come to any bet and desk registry office or anything to now start a registration process, whether it's a fresh bet or it's a late bet registration or debt registration, whatever it is.
So the management of the Bets and Debts Registry have indicated that they are working assiduously to resolve this current challenge. But in the meanwhile, if you still want their services, you can access it online and also at their various district offices. Reporting for Citi News, my name is Kweku Eduyama Ansa.
And you're still watching the Citi Newsroom. My name is Vivian Kai Loko. When we return, industry players in the currency exchange rate space predict further depreciation of the cedi for the first quarter of 2023. Do stay with us. We'll be right back.
Has upgraded the 1 Ghana cedi coin with enhanced security features. The coin will be put into circulation from 12th December 2022. It is similar to the existing 1 Ghana cedi coin in shape, form and images. The coat of arms in front and the scale of justice at the back. The upgraded 1 Ghana cedi coin is bimetallic with outer gold and inner silver. The coin has a pronounced rough edge and incorporates a latent image which appears in a rectangular form below the scale of justice at the back. The latent image changes from a radiating star to a 1 Ghana cedi symbol sandwiched between 2 stars when tilted. The existing and the upgraded 1 Ghana cedi coins will co-circulate until the existing coin is gradually withdrawn. The general public is encouraged to accept the coins and use them.
Getting together for the first time in years was a little bit awkward. Grandpa still tried to entertain us. Mom was always stealing the spotlight from the kids. It wasn't until Grandma cracked a joke
That's my favorite prayer.
that we got back into our groove. In this festive, DSTV is making family time even better with an upgrade.
Stay connected to DSTV and we'll upgrade you to the next package for free.
And you're welcome back to the Citi Newsroom. Now, the cedi for some time now hasn't been performing very well. Now, players in that industry, the currency industry, are worried that for the next quarter of 2023, for example, the cedi will depreciate against the dollar. This report by Fred Duho has more. Fred, what can you tell us?
How is the exchange rate looking like on the market generally? The Bank of Ghana's rate is pegged at around 8 Ghana cedis to the dollar. But on the average, when you come to the forex bureaus, it is selling for about 11 to 12 Ghana cedis. How are importers also receiving this, knowing very well that the import rate or the margin that has been taken care of by the government has been taken off, and that 30% margin would be borne by importers? Now let's have a conversation with the exchange rate operators.
We buy dollar at 11 cedis and we sell it at 12. Likewise with the other currency, the pound is also 13 against 14.5. The euro is also 11 against 12. Those are the three major currencies that moves the market.
How different is your exchange rate from what the interbank exchange rate is?
No, the interbank rates are the base rate for each and everybody to know. This is the base rate that they normally use as their base rate to give us as an indicator. So similarly to the Forex Bureau, we have our own indicators, but we normally go with the actual rate that goes on now. because now we are buying dollar at 11 and we sell it at 12.
Any projection for the currency, the first quarter or probably into the second quarter?
From now, I could see the maximum the bill will go, I think, should have been about 13 cities from now up to in the next 3 months, because it will climb gradually. This is where it will go, but at a slow pace. But gradually it will start climbing up to about 13 thereabout.
We buy and sell forex. Yes, just across the counter.
What is the current rate?
The current rate for the dollar from the board is 10 cedis. We buy at 10 cedis. For the pound, we buy at 12. Then CFA, we buy at CFA. We've quoted 14. But what it means is that every 1,000 CFA, we exchange for 14 cedis, and then the euro is going for 10.5.
But what is your anticipation looking at the exchange rate over time prior to the festive season? And now the Christmas is over and people are hoping to import and transact more businesses.
If nothing is done, you know, the exchange rate is determined by the force of demand and supply. So if there are intervention, it means the forex will stabilize. Other than that, you know, after the festivities, the next major festivity is the Easter. Yes. And around this time, you know, most LCs that were open for the Christmas will be maturing. Yeah, between now and February. Then some companies, foreign companies, will be declaring dividends, which must be paid. And apart from that, oil LCs will be maturing. Even though the government has a policy for oil and gold, but that has not taken effect, which means that most LCs will be maturing between now and March. Yeah. So if nothing is done, we will experience some increase or some the rate to be going up. But I don't anticipate us going back to October, where the city got to 15 cities.
You see, we are all hoping for the best. At the moment, this is the first time we open shops. So we don't know how the strength of the city will be. So we are praying that when the cities come down, definitely the goods will come down. Now they are not buying at all because people think that the goods price will come down again. So people are slowing purchasing. So we are hoping maybe from next week or end of this month things will be better. Well, I'm planning to buy $1 to import. So I'm also waiting to see the performance of the city first before I can make any movement. Because if I make any wrong movement, I'll run at a loss.
We've spoken to a number of Forex Bureau managers who are hoping that the CD from their projection would rise a bit or marginally over the period, at least within the first quarter, before things will begin to stabilize along the way. And in as much as we are even expecting some funds from the IMF within the course of the year, we believe this would all contribute to basically stabilizing the Ghana cedis. My name is Fred Duho, reporting for Citi News.
Now, the electronic levy, transfer levy, was expected to have been reduced to 1% from 1.35% actually from the beginning of this year, 2023. But it appears that that hasn't taken effect. We were around the country today, went to the parts of the greater Accra region and found out really what that is having, what impact that is having on consumers. Nee Latte has that report. Nee?
I've just done a transaction and I'm not clear with it, so I have to go and recheck and see that if truly they have reduced it. But a lot of people don't check, so they should run an advert on your station for us to have noticed that they have reduced it. I think that will be...
The transaction you did, if you can share details with
Yeah, the transaction I did, I sent 1,000 Ghana Cedi to somebody. So they're supposed to deduct... first, they deduct 5 cedis. But now it's 750 pesos, and with the other charges too, when I calculated it, everything ended up to 13 cedis, 50 pesos, which is too much. But I'll cross-check whether if truly they have reduced it. I don't believe in Ghana now. Today they will reduce it, tomorrow they will increase it. So I don't believe it at all. So there should be an advert so that people will get to know that they've reduced it and they will purchase more of the transaction.
With me here is Joshua Edmondson. He is the Deputy National Public Relations Officer of the Mobile Money Agents Association of Ghana. I will engage him on the reduction of the e-levy from 1.5% to 1%.
It's not yet, although it's been announced. We are hopeful it will take effect in the next few days to come, because I believe that the telcos would have to do something with respect to their database to be able to adjust to the reduction and everything. So it's a whole lot of work that needs to be done. But the good news is that at least it's been announced. So we are expecting that in the next foreseeable days, they should take effect. A very good news. Looking at where it's coming from 1.75%, 1.5%, and now 1% with the cap being restored. It's a very good news to us. And let me say that although that's not the ultimate we are looking at, but we commend government for at least taking this step, because it's something that we've been crying for, okay? And we are encouraging them that, look, because of what has happened, we are anticipating that this will affect the business in terms of a positive slide. But what it means is that all those who forfeited the usage of the service by mere fact of the 1.5% will now have some hope to come back to use the service. And by so doing, we are anticipating that sales will go up. By sales going up, then we are also believing that government would then understand our call to further reduce the levy to the 0.5% we are talking about. Because even in economics, you realize that the lower the price, the higher the quantity demanded, all things being equal, unless the product is an ostentatious product. But if not, and it's an elastic product like the service we are using, whereby people could use other avenues to transact business without necessarily using the service, then it tells you that we believe that government would listen when the figures start coming up. After it was announced, we had the opportunity to meet with government. We made them know that, look, we want to support, to educate the people. And as of now I'm talking to you about, people could even come to you and say, oh, Mibeyisika, how much are you going to charge me for your levy? Then we educate them and tell them that no. We undertook a nationwide education campaign. That's the Mobile Money Agents Association of Ghana, educating people. Because the reason is that anything that affects the levy has a direct effect on our business. So we took it upon ourselves with our limited resources to educate the public about the levy and the things that the levy does not affect and the things it does. So we believe that it should not end here. Government should still support us, or we should still continue to educate the people about the levy.
The Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications has played a significant role in terms of the demand for a revision of the electronic transfer levy. The Chief Executive Officer of the Chamber, Engineer Dr. Kenneth Ashigbe, has been sharing his thoughts on the reduction.
You know, today is the first working day since we came back from the holidays. So our checks show that the President assented to the bill, the Act as passed by Parliament, Act 1089, on the 29th. And what normally happens is that the EMI's December is a network freeze period. And so we're coming out of that network freeze, and since now it's now law, speaking to GRA, it's something that is supposed to take immediate effect. So taking immediate effect means that now you can get your systems configured and all of that. So I'm sure in the coming days, the EMIs would configure their systems, and the 1%, would start. We started off with the policy being at 1.75. There was a lot of talk. It came down to 1.5, and we still, insisted until, in our engagement with government, we thought that, the 1.5 was too much, and in the various engagement that went on before this 1%, we were still of the opinion that even, it should have been between 0.5% and 0.1%. The thing about this e-levy is that you need to do it in such a way that people do not really think about it when they have to pay it, when they have to use the electronic means for transactions.
Though the revision is yet to take effect, stakeholders in the industry are requesting and asking government to intensify education on this policy. Reporting for Citi News, my name is Philip Latte.
You're still watching the Citi Newsroom. We're coming to you live from our studios at Tesano here in the Greater Accra region. When we come back. Business owners call for further engagement ahead of the implementation of the new VAT rate. Do stay with us. We'll be right back.
Anyone can become a house owner.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You Go Flip, a real estate gaming platform that allows you to play and stand a chance of winning a house or cash or consolidated prizes, such as savings towards a house. Simple and easy to play. Visit www.yougoflip.com. Buy a ticket to enter the game. Wait for the end of the game to enjoy the win. Anyone can win. Flip it or own it. You Go Flip. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Play responsibly, not for persons below 18 years, and gaming can be addictive.
It's Citi on the go. You don't have to miss any of your favorite television and radio shows on Citi TV and Citi FM. Enjoy thrilling content from your world of great television and relevant radio at your convenience. Subscribe to CitiTube on YouTube. Turn on your notification button and receive prompts on our live streaming sessions and new content uploads. For easy access to the CitiTube page, scan the barcode on your screens. Subscribe to the CitiTube page and voila! Unlimited content awaits you. Don't forget to subscribe to CitiTube for amazing content from Citi TV and Citi FM.
And you're welcome back to the Citi Newsroom. Now, business operators want government to further engage them before it goes ahead with its implementation of the new VAT rate. Natele Nete Ajaho has been looking at that story. Natele, what can you tell us?
Despite government's announcements to increase the value-added tax rate from 12.5 to 15%, one group that has criticized the move is the Ghana Union of Traders Associations, GUTA. President of GUTA, Dr. Joseph Obeng, is urging government to, among other things, implement measures to enhance compliance, or the move will not yield the targeted results. He's been speaking to Citi News.
It's important that government gets revenue for the development of the city. No doubt about that. But one thing that we have also observed is that taxes, when they are not made simplified and affordable, compliance level is virtually nil, and it does not support the cause of government itself, and it does not also help the business community. It creates unnecessary discomfort for businesses, add another layer of cost of doing business, and thereby also punishing the consuming public. And that's why we're saying that the tax system, the VAT system, as it is structured now, does not ensure uniformity. It does not ensure fairness. And that we have about 3 systems of the same VAT system running concurrently at the same vicinity of market. There is no compulsion on the part of the consuming public to demand VAT invoices. It means that everybody has the discretion to choose where he should buy his or her goods.
For the Association of Ghana Industries, AGI, the addition of the 2.5% on the value-added tax rate will stifle the growth of the manufacturing sector. The Greater Accra chairman of AGI, Chonam Akpelo, explains that government must delay the implementation of the increment in the VAT rate.
We're fully aware of the challenges government is going through, and we know that government will do everything in order to raise the needed revenue to embark on the mini development initiative. But for us in industry, increasing VAT to 15% at this time, we feel that the timing is wrong, and we think that it's too much burden on industry. You realize that inflation rate is all-time high. So on daily basis, prices of goods and services are going up. And the producer have to deal with a situation of having to buy raw materials on increasing prices basis. So to now add increase in VAT, what it means is that the producer again is faced with the issue of having to pass that VAT to the consumer and having to also deal with the already imported finished products that we have to deal with. So in effect, our challenges are just gone up as a result.
The 2.5% hike was announced by the Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta when he presented the 2023 budget to Parliament in November last year. According to him, the move is expected to yield about 2.70 billion Ghana cedis in revenue to fund road infrastructure development. But both the AGI and GUTA believe that government needs to further engage the business community to ensure they get the desired results. For some traders who spoke to Citi News, though the implementation has not begun, the move will impose hardships on their businesses and on the consuming public. Government says it was increasing VAT from 12.5 to 15%. Has it taken place, and are you implementing these measures at this time?
Unless they give us new VAT receipt book before we can start issuing this thing to them, because right now what we are having is we are still having the old books. So if I issue it to you, you can't give me that money because I have to give you a receipt what corresponds to the amount that I'm taking from you. So unless they bring it, well, they cannot put the horse before the cat. So right now, we are waiting for them to bring us the new VAT receipt book. Then we can also start issuing it.
As of now, we have not started it yet because there are no sales right now as we speak. I think the government should meet stakeholders and then, discuss the whole thing in a program form and then find the best solution possible. But I don't think that increasing from 12 to 15% is going to be the 100% solution.
It's no doubt that government's decision to increase the value-added tax rate from 12.5 to 15% as part of efforts to raise revenue is not the best in the eyes of the business community. They are calling on governments to engage in more stakeholder engagement to ensure that this move yields the best results. For Citi News, I am Nete Ajahu.
Now, following the marginal decrease in the prices of fuel at the pumps, passengers want a decrease in transport fares. Now, Anne Shirley Ziwu has been about in town speaking to passengers to find out what they really want.
In the last pricing window of last year, which is December 2022, fuel prices reduced drastically as petrol was selling for 13 cedis and diesel was selling around 15 cedis at various fuel stations. This caused commuters to ask for a reduction in transport fares, and after a meeting with the GPRTU, the Transport Ministry and other various stakeholders, it was agreed that transport fares be reduced by 15 13.3%. In the first pricing window of 2023, fuel prices have also seen a marginal decrease by 8% at various fuel stations, and commuters are asking for a reduction as well. Let's speak to some commuters who are calling for this reduction.
It's only fair when we see reduction in fuel prices. It's only fair that we see a reflection of it in transport fare, because we could all remember last year there was a transport fare increments, I think, for like more than 3 times so far. So then we've seen how in a month they've increased fares 2 times. So then now that the fuel price has been reduced, it's only fair now we want to see the reduction in transport fare, at least some minimum percentage.
The drivers are saying that it's not only the fuel that they use to calculate this increase and decrease in transport fare. They have other components like spare parts, brake fuel, oil, engines, and other things. What do you also make of that?
I think that is a lame excuse, because every time they increase the fare, the fuel price is the first, is the primary concern to them. They don't talk about the spare part. The spare part, apart from that, the spare part is not everyday thing. It's periodic. I mean, in a month or 3 months. If you're even lucky, a year, you won't do any. All you have to do is maintenance. So I think we are talking about fuel price here. I mean, is the one that we deal with every day. So when it comes down, it's only fair that people, I mean, especially the drivers, bring it down.
Even with the former, the other 15% that the government has given us, they made it 10%. Because initially, Kaswa fare was 10 cedis. From here to Kaswa was 10 cedi. But after the 15%, they are charging, instead of 8 cedis, 50 pesos, they are charging 9 cedis. But still, nothing changed. It's still the same 9 cedi that they are. I'm pleading with the government that at least they should talk to the drivers to do something about it for us. Yeah.
We heard they are reduced the price of the fuel, and also but like at the station here, the refer that they have taken that was previously, they are still taking the same lorry fare. So this one here, like, I'm pleading on behalf of everybody that the government should reduce. The government too should tell the drivers so that they can also reduce the lorry fare for us, because it is still expensive for us.
I think it's quite good, because if they have reduced the transport fare, they should reduce the fares. So I think it's a good idea that passengers are saying they should reduce it. And I also support that they should reduce it. So it's good. I think it was 5.5, but now they said 4.5. But if they have reduced it to 1.5 there, I think they should reduce it again.
Let's speak to the Industrial Relations Officer of GPRT, Abbas Imoro, and what he makes of the call for a reduction in transport fares.
If you observed, it wasn't one time which attracted the reduction. It was about the third time of fuel reduction which attracted the reduction. Likewise, if we are about to increase lorry fares, at times 3 times increment or 4 times increment before we come up with an increment. And before the decrease, you remember we came up with a communique that even passengers are owing us a lot. There was a very big gap between what we are supposed to take and what we are taking now. Lo and behold, as religious as we are, drivers were able to reduce something out of what we observed. Yesterday we wake up, we saw another slight reduction, yes. But it's not automatic that every reduction of fuel will attract reduction of lorry fares. When it comes down significantly, we will again come up. But don't forget the spare parts has never been reduced, which has been rice that we buy. Rice, which was being sold at 2 cedis for our kids, went up to 5 cedis. It has never been reduced. Almost all the food stuff, everything which was increased has never been reduced, but we have done it. So the possibility of bringing the fuel prices down again to some extent, we shall reduce the lorry fare again. It's also there. It's also there.
So what would you have to tell commuters now that
They should take it easy. When they reduce it further to a reasonable price, we shall see to it to make sure we also touch on it.
Now, as the Hamilton weather intensifies, the Ghana National Fire Service is cautioning the public to be conscious of the environment and to show every combustible substance is kept away from any fire source. We have more on this report filed by Fred Doe.
In your shot is the signage indicating the mini park press, which is located around Kukumemle here in Accra, and so far fire has raised down the entire press center. We can see that there are a number of machines in there. Firefighters are basically putting their shoulders to the wheel, making every frantic effort to bring the fire down and not to probably allow it to escalate into other adjoining facilities or buildings. So we can see that there are some printing machines in the short. The entire facility, we can see, has been raised down. The machines are basically smoky, and again we can see the papers in there and a number of other facilities that are totally gone down into ashes. The roof has been raised down here at Kokomemle, and we want to see if we can engage with the chief fire officer.
We were there around 14:53 hours. A distress call was called to our hand that there's a fire break at Kokomemle. We reached here 14:59 hours. We found out the printing press is on fire, totally engulfed, which we call our men to come and support in fighting the fire.
How was it fighting the fire actually?
Yeah, the place was locked, so we have to break the padlocks and get through to get access to fight the fire. We are educating the general public. We are Amatan citizens. Like this place, like this, the island, they are off for some time now. They are closed the shop for some time now. They break, so I don't know. We are here to do our further investigations to find out what caused the fire.
So throughout today, would you say this is the only place you've been to, or other ones across the city?
This is the second time. This is the second place. We attend other one at where? Kokomemle near the traffic light. Also a domestic fire. Yes. So this is the second time. So we have the public that should be very careful.
The second time for our station.
Your station. Okay.
Our stations have gone for so many fires. Throughout the day, there have been so many fires throughout. So, as you know, the education is just make sure you put off your things. If you are leaving your house, make sure all things are off. If you can switch off the meter when there's nothing in the freezer that you can keep on, just switch off before. Because the Hamilton thing doesn't prompt anybody about fire. As it is, they locked the place for some days now, and they have been out, and nobody knows what happened. We are yet to investigate to know what actually happened.
What really happened?
Actually, now I was sitting outside there, and a certain guy ran from the back there. He came and he said there's a smoke. So we rushed coming inside, we saw there's a dustbin behind this building. So we saw there's a fire coming out from that side. So we fetched the water inside this tank, tried to off the fire from the back. But before we finished the back, we saw that there's a smoke coming outside from the building. So we pushed the door. There's a door behind it. We pushed the door. We realized that there's fire coming from the inside the building. So we tried to pass here. So as we pass here, the smoke is all over. So we can't enter. That's what happened.
So how did you get the fire service personnel to intervene?
Initially, we called them, but we keep on calling. But a certain policeman was passing. So they are riding with the motors. One of them rushed back to fire service and then brought them. But when we called them, they also came. So that's why they make two here.
This is some kind of huge investment. What are we looking at over here in terms of cost?
Well, it goes about 800,000 to 1 billion. But it doesn't matter. When this has happened now, there's no problem because it has already happened. And nothing that we can do.
So how do you probably hope to bounce back over time? And in knowing the season we are in, being Harmattan season, what would be your perspective or approach to issues of domestic fire or even fire at workplaces? Probably your advice to the public?
Well, my advice is that anybody who is around should see what has happened. So next time, anything at all, you should be very careful to do whatever you want to do. Apart from that, nothing that you can do. It happened anyway.
The fire service personnel are still on the ground from the headquarters in the Accra city, helping basically to ensure that every source of power is totally quenched. My name is Fred Duo, reporting from Kukumemle for Citi News.
Well, that's it for today's edition of the Citi Newsroom. Our website, citinewsroom.com, has more. Subscribe to CityTube on YouTube for more exclusive video content from Citi TV. You can also watch Citi TV on DSTV channel 363 and GoTV channel 182. My name is Vivian Kai Loco. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.
It's Citi on the go. You don't have to miss any of your favorite television and radio shows on Citi TV and Citi FM. Enjoy thrilling content from your world of great television and relevant radio at your convenience. Subscribe to CityTube on YouTube. Turn on your notification button and receive prompts on our live streaming sessions and new content uploads. For easy access to the CityTube page, scan the barcode on your screens. Subscribe to the CityTube page and voila! Unlimited content awaits you. Don't forget to subscribe to CityTube for amazing content from Citi TV and Citi FM.
Citi TV is live on DSTV. Go to channel 363. On GoTV, access Citi TV on channel 182. On a digital TV, please press the menu button on the remote control and run a new search on your TV. Take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Citi TV on your television. Citi TV can be accessed on a free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and Star Times box. Citi TV, it's your world.
Aside raising funding and be a unicorn, the main goal is to impact life, to enrich minds, to know that the African youth is capable of changing the narrative, taking charge of their lives, whether it's running a business or working for a company.
I fell in love with the opportunity to work with young people and channel their energy to nation building.
It's my job, once you join the team, to figure out how best you can use the strengths and even the weaknesses you have to advance the cause to prosperity for 1 billion people.
The generation before us helped us, and then we help the next generation.
Well, our struggles may be singular, but our destinies are shared.